Scalpel. You looking at me, Dwight?
We're losing adrenaline now.
You'll never amount to anything, man.
Everybody clear. You scum.
We've lost him.
Hello viewers. These blokes are not in fact the Channel 4 complaints department, nor are they models from Mr. Byright. They're all systems managers and they'll be getting smiled up for today's event. Before we get on to that though, a couple more letters here. One from Peter Ball in Surrey who says, "Dear Dominic, my mum says video games are bad for young people and she won't let me play them. What can I do?" Well, I would say, Peter, study Crime Watch carefully and see if you can fit her up for any crimes committed in your area, and that should keep her quiet for anything up to a 10-year stretch. Another letter here from Yvonne Kergill from Arbroath. Nice to get one from one of our lady viewers. "Dear Dominic, how do you get to appear on Gamesmaster?" Well, it's quite simple, Yvonne. Each year we hold auditions, and if you're very, very good at games, you're warm, you're witty, have a fantastic personality, we let you come on. If you don't, then you get your own chat show on daytime TV. Hope I've cleared some things up for everyone there. Right, as I said then, these blokes are not just here to set our female audience's pulses a-pumping. They are going to be participating in an event we like to call Oi, Broken Suit, Fancy a Fight?
I've always had a soft spot for champs, and I'm going to indulge it today as I put a champion Doom player through his paces. Our contestant must enter a deathmatch arena in which 3 other players are waiting to dispatch him. 3 against 1 are the kind of odds only a champ could deal with, and he'll need nerves of steel if he's going to send them all to their doom.
Well, basically, Gary, Simon and John here are cannon fodder for our champion. But, Gary, I mean, you guys play Doom in the office, yeah?
Yeah.
How much of your day does it take up?
Probably at least an hour an evening.
That's all? Not more than that?
Yeah, well, we still have work to do.
Yeah. I think you're lying just because maybe bosses might be watching. Who's the best out of you 3 then, when you play?
I think Simon's probably best.
Yes, do you think you can cause an upset today, Simon?
Well, I'll try.
Yeah? And what about you, John? Are you any good at it?
Yeah, not bad. Doesn't matter who's at the other keyboard.
Yeah.
It's when you're in there what counts. That's what really counts.
So why are you the best, Simon? What kind of tactics do you use then?
Basically, I'll just be able to kill him.
Yeah. Okay.
Fancy ways about it.
All right, that's fine. Well, like a lot of British industry, these guys refuse to work until they finish reading their papers. While they do that, let's go to the news. This is the latest in Sega's violently successful series of Virtua arcade games. Virtua On is a 2-player game where players control massive robots in a futuristic version of the old gunfight games. If you get close enough to experience your opponent's pits, you can punch his lights out. But it is rib-ticklingly jolly to smack them about with a rocket as they leg it. Virtua On is out next month. The internet is full of sad blokes trying to make friends, and now thousands of people are avoiding any possible rejection by creating electronic mates on a new website. An experiment in artificial intelligence, the Digital Beastie homepage, allows you to construct a creature which then has to fend for itself in a specially creative world against everybody else's beasties. Thanks to little postcards you'll be sent, you can keep track of its progress as it mates and has fights. I called mine Dominic Diamond. It pulled all the ladies and ate everyone else. Just premiering in the US, Space, Above and Beyond, is the latest TV series from the creators of the overrated X-Files. Set in 2163, alien blokes are kicking in Earth, and the only hope is the young Turks who make up the air and space cavalry. Team stars Morgan West and Shane Vanson look uncannily like young versions of Agents Mulder and Scully, and there's cameo appearances just like the X-Files, with Jim from Neighbours appearing in the very first episode. Where's Bouncer? Thankfully, his colony gets blown up within seconds in one of the many spectacular sequences that quite literally litter this alien extravaganza. Look out for Space, Above and Beyond quite soon, Mum, because there's lots of burning flags. Now, Gary, Simon and John, the cream of British industry, have taken their positions for our event. Oi, bloke in suit, fancy a fight. They'll be playing against our champion, David Dennis, who is slightly smaller than them, but he does have a fantastic earring. David, what do you like to do when you're not playing Doom against businessmen?
Watch cartoons mostly.
What's your favourite cartoon?
Swap cats.
What exactly is Swap Cats?
There's a big city of cats and bad guys come and like destroy the city. So there's two people who come and rescue the city from the bad guys.
And what do the cats do?
Like fire guns at airplanes, and blow them up generally.
So it's quite realistic, quite true, real life kind of cartoon.
Yeah.
Then? Yeah. All right, David, what kind of tactics are we going to see from you today?
Well, a fast moving, don't stop, because I might just get shot in the back. So when I open the door, move back and move around.
And all guns blazing, never stopping for a second.
Yeah.
Fantastic aggressive tactics here, David. We'll ask you to hold off just for a second while I go up to the commentary position. And sharing the podium for Deathmatch Doom is piece of reviews Rick Henderson. Rick, Deathmatch Doom then, what's the best tactics to use?
Well, on the PM Consultants Network, there's a lot of weapons lying around, so get yourself a big funky weapon as soon as possible. You can't go through life with a pea shooter.
That's true.
Also, don't stand around in large open spaces, because you never know when a businessman's going to come from behind.
Wise words there from Rick. OK, basically, David has to wipe out all three of our fine astute businessmen to emerge victorious. Best of luck, David. Off you go. OK, we're going to be using David's view for this. You will see John, Gary and Simon appear. John will be the green bloke, Gary will be the yellow bloke, Simon will be the black bloke. You can see David's health, 95%, the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. His ammo, the bottom left-hand corner as well. His health's up to 100%. No sign of the other ones yet, though, Rick.
No, he's playing a definite strategy there. He's just picked up some armour, so that will actually stand him in good stead. Now he's going to go and find, outside the building, the chain gun, which will dispatch them much quicker, and a supercharge, which gives him 200% armour and 200% health.
Oh, yes, we can see that 200% health there, full whack of armour. Wait, there's that Gatling gun.
There we go, there's the gun. Now all he has to do is go and find them. But the only problem is he's got to stay towards the walls. I don't advise actually walking down the centre.
OK, then. So he's fully tooled up now. More than enough bullets, 220 bullets. You can see the weapons and the armour he's got in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see 220 bullets there. Now he's going hunting for our systems managers.
It is, it's a stalking game, but the door just behind him is just closed, which suggests that someone might be behind there. Probably hiding behind some little dark alley, as businessmen often do, I've heard.
We're still waiting for some top systems manager.
There he goes.
There's the green one. That is John.
He's taken some shots in the back already.
Yes, John, he's got John. Oh, yes, he's pumping his bullets into John there. John's running away.
John's gone.
He doesn't want anything to do with it.
John's
that's
out.
it. John is dead. Bye-bye, John. We're left with Gary, who will appear in yellow, and Simon, who will appear in black.
Now, John's mistake was he just stood next to a wall, but didn't actually turn round. He just stood there looking at it.
Never turn your back to a bloke with a Gatling gun.
Now,
Okay.
these doors are open, which suggests someone has definitely been in this room, because you have to actually open them with a switch that's on the wall.
Oh, there's another one.
Great.
That's Simon. I think that's black. It looks a bit grey in the light, but I think that is black. He's running away. There's
Turn
one.
around
He's
and
just run
fight,
past
you
him.
coward. Turn around and fight.
Where's he gone? He's lost him.
He's just scarpered.
He's legged it. Okay, after a brief skirmish with Simon, then Simon has offed it. And he's just running around, taking in some of the scenery here. So down the stairs David goes. We've got two system managers left. Gary, who'll appear in the yellow. Simon, who'll appear in the black.
Come and fight, you cowards. Come on. Put yourself out in the open. Men or mice.
I just had a squeak there, Rick.
No, they just...
This is yellow, this is Gary.
Gary's taking it. Gary's
Oh, Gary! Gary gets told, although he did take some hits there, David. The armor
Yeah,
down to 84, health to 157%, but that's still more than enough juice. So he's still hunting for Simon. Simon obviously cowering in some corner.
Maybe go down towards the earlier levels, David. Go down into the basement again. Because he's just in black, he's probably likely to be hiding in the chandlery area.
Or in a shop selling lots of black clothes. It's very very tense here. We know somewhere within this level.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. It's face on face. It's just, oh, he's like that again.
Run it down the stairs. Get quickly, David. Press down that shift key. Run down those stairs after him.
Those are interesting facts.
There he goes.
Yes. He's just waiting around the corner for David, isn't he? Then legging it.
A very clever tactic. It's a very clever tactic when you run backwards while firing.
Oh, they're all firing as well. It's a
There he comes. Nice down.
Simon is down with 59% arm and 102% health left. David is the champion. You dispatched the suits with consummate ease there. First up was John, wasn't it? John in the green. Tell us how you did away with him.
Well, he must have seen my chain gun and started picking it up the stairs, but not a match for me.
He certainly wasn't. Then we had, who was that kind of yellowy, brownish guy? That was Gary, yeah. What happened with him?
He stood up to me, got a couple of shots in, but just got blown away.
He was beside that big bin thing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Tried to hide behind that, no use at all. Now, Simon was a little bit of a problem, the guy in the black.
Yeah, he used the strategy, he'd be running away and just bang, bang. But as I just chased him, keep shooting at him, took it slowly. And
so at the end of the day, was it any problem at all for you?
No problem.
No problem at all. Well, congratulations, David. You have won our special Oi Bloke in Suit Fancy a Fight Gamesmaster Golden Joystick. Can't buy you love, so the song goes, but it can buy you high-quality pieces of entertainment software, although that would make for a slightly less catchy chorus. Let's see if any of the following games are worth more than the much-mentioned brilliance. In the old days, Belgium didn't exist. Then Tintin arrived and they built the whole country around him. Now the young scamp is on the Super NES.
Hergé's Adventures of Tintin, a little guy who looked a bit like Mark Lamar for the younger members, and had a little dog called Snowy and a friend called Captain Haddock, and he used to run off and get into all sorts of naughty cartoon adventures. Well, this is the game. Admittedly, he's bigger in Europe than he is over here, but how will the SNES game do? Rick Henderson's been playing it madly.
Although it is a platform game outwardly, the variety in levels is fantastic. There are people to ask for clues. You can come in and out of the background. You can swing people up mountains. There is an awful lot to do here, and to be honest, even though it's got that Belgian lunacy about it, it's very good.
In Japan, this game comes with a black gun. Over here, the gun's painted bright blue just so stupid kids don't get confused. It's Virtua Cop on the Saturn.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's come onto the Saturn and once again shows the quality of Sega's arcade range when brought into the home. Also, you get a gun with it, and that can't be bad. There's also various elements like shooting guys in the knees and the elbows, shooting the guns out of them, blowing away barrels, bringing great big pylons down onto cars.
Not only is it arcade perfect, it even has a couple of extra options in the Saturn version that you don't get in the arcades, such as the mirror mode. The mirror mode means that all the enemies are reversed and you can go back through the game with no similarity in where the enemies come from. You also have a training mode, which is a shooting gallery with randomly generated shooting points.
Finally, on the Saturn, Hebereki Papoito, which is Japanese for Why are Dave and Rick wearing shades in the middle of winter?
Hebereki Papoito? Huh? What on earth is going on? It's basically your Hebereki's Papoon on the SNES, but on the Saturn.
Mean Bean Machine, Pack Attack, Puzzle Bobble, they've all become very popular lately. All these more graphic-y, Tetris-y type games. That's exactly what Hebereki's Papoito is. Trouble is, it's absolutely bonkers.
There's just too much going on screen to actually make a puzzle game work. Puzzle games should put you into a calm state and let you relax, let you get into it gradually. But Hebereki's Papoito throws everything at you at once and you end up getting hit from 1,000 angles.
coming up after the break, the sequel to the greatest multiplayer game ever, including some top, good-looking American bloke teen band action with EYC. All of this coming up in a few short minutes. Celebrity guests are just getting that last stray piece of nose hair forcibly plucked. We don't want to show you that. Instead, we'll go over to Gamesmaster and show you what they'll be playing.
I'm in the mood for some classic gaming action, and our next challenge on Bomberman 3 should provide just that. Like the previous Bombermans, the idea is simple. Contestants run around the maze, attempting to blow each other up by hurling bombs. A number of different power-ups are available for those players canny enough to use them, but as usual, the crucial thing is to avoid getting boxed in and finding yourself a sitting duck for your opponent's bombs. As always, the last man standing earns the joystick.
So please welcome the latest in our long line of teen pin-up bands who've come on the show expressly to highlight how physically unattractive I am. Damon, Dave and Trey, EYC. Welcome to the show, Damon. How you doing? Welcome, Dave. Nice to see you, Trey.
Thanks, man.
Okay, now, Damon, you guys have been in pop since the age of 12. What did you start off doing?
Well, I started off as a backup dancer. I was a backup dancer for Tiffany, Michael Jackson, and Shanice Wilson. A lot of people.
So you worked with Michael Jackson when you were 12 years old?
Not when I was 12, my very first job. No, but later on. Yeah. That's what I was doing.
But it's Dave that's the big games player.
Oh, yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm very competitive, so, you know.
Are you going to whip these two guys tonight?
Yeah, easily.
No.
I'm just trying to figure out who am I going to, you know, beat first and who I'm going to let stay in the game the longest.
Now, finally, Trey, you have been in Baywatch. Is that true?
Yeah, sure enough.
Well, that is, I mean, have you met the great goddess Pamela then?
Yes, I have.
And how did you get on with her?
Actually, you guys should have seen the movie that we made, Baywatch 2.
It's funny because I've actually been married to Pamela for 7 years and she's never mentioned you, Trey.
Really? Me too.
Funny,
Never mentioned
not
you
even once.
Never mentioned you.
Okay, I'm contractually obliged at this point, gentlemen, to ask you to follow me up to the challenge area in preparation for play. Damon, Trey and David from EYC are about to play Super Bomberman 3. The hordes of screaming girls that you could hear earlier on outside the studio were not for them. They were, in fact, for Dave Perry, who's helping me out on this. Dave, I'm going to call you Killer today.
Oh, very nice.
And so listen, Dave, if you were playing with these three young boys, how would you do it?
Well, the secret with Bomberman, obviously, is not to panic. You work your way methodically across the screen, picking up all the good icons along the way, and don't get caught in the corners. But in Bomberman 3, you've got an extra thing to remember. Collect an egg as soon as possible. This will give you one of the coloured kangaroos. Not only do these have special powers, but they allow you to take 2 hits.
Okay, thanks very much, Dave. Right, basically, whoever is left standing at the end is the winner, but for a little added excitement, we have thrown in a super hard computer player. It's actually Bomber Lady in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Of course, if Bomber Lady wins, there will be no joystick at all for any member of EYC. Best of luck, guys. The last one standing gets the joystick. Off you go. So, Damon is playing the white original Bomberman, top left-hand corner. Trey is the grey Bomberman who has just disappeared already in the bottom. You can forget about him. And David is the red punk Bomberman, the top right-hand corner. The computer one, like I say, Bomber Lady in the bottom left-hand corner. Dave.
Well, up at the top, we've got the punk Bomberman. He's picked up the kangaroo already. He's got the yellow kangaroo, and that means that he can kick bombs now over the walls.
Okay, then we've got a blue kangaroo picked up there by Damon in the white. Dave, what does that one do?
The blue kangaroo allows him to kick bombs over the walls. The yellow kangaroo actually allows him to kick the walls. He can kick the walls along.
He's cornered the computer one. Oh, the computer one's bought it. That was fantastic play. Damon trapping the computer Bomberman. So now it's just Damon against David. The computer is out of it.
The computer was on hard, so that's a very good move because the computer was going to be a very formidable opponent in this game.
Okay, they're both picking up their icons. They're both getting fully tooled up. We've still got some blocks separating them though, Dave, so unless they can throw them over, we're not going to see much one-on-one fighting action yet.
No, we're not. Of course, the yellow kangaroo, the Punk Bomberman's on, can kick those walls. The walls have gone now, but of course the Punk Bomberman can take 2 hits.
Oh no, he's trapped him! He's trapped himself!
He's dead!
David
He's dead.
He's trapped himself! He is dead! That means David is the winner! Okay, guys, come back a wee bit. Right, now listen. At the end there, you managed to dispatch the computer opponent. Now, they were set on the hardest level possible, so that was quite good from you then, Dave.
Oh, yeah. That was a nice little victory, but I should have beat Dave. But...
It was, because then it was left to you and Dave you tonked him in the end.
Hey, I just wanted to drop a bomb on him, and that's what I did.
Now, finally, Trey, I'd like to think of someone who's been on the show that's done worse. But I can't really. I mean,
so you know what that means? I get the angels.
No. It means you get zip.
Oh.
I'm afraid, Trey. You have to keep on wearing those sunglasses.
Okay.
That's your prize. But the other prize means the top games-playing, Gamesmaster joystick-winning EYC member is David. And EYC's second album, Put It On, ... EYC, is out for Christmas. While we ponder the merits of that particular purchase, let's see today's feature. Question: what is unusual about this pilot for a German TV show? No, it's not the presenter's unfeasibly bad dress sense or the naffness of that ball he's about to kick. Yes, the set wasn't there. Clever German bloke. Just as special effects in films are created on computers rather than with miniatures, there'll soon be no need to build expensive real sets for your TV programmes thanks to new virtual set technology. Virtual set exists only in a computer's memory. The presenters are filmed against a blue screen by cameras equipped with trackers. As the cameras pan and zoom, computers the size of Swindon produce the backgrounds in real time. It's even possible to replicate real locations by simply scanning in a photo of your favourite office building. You know, we've all got one. The same scanner can be used to grab any item, and once in the computer's memory, it can be reproduced to bring new life to those dull discussions on the merits of different zit creams. It's just as easy to produce a virtual video link. Clever computers even know when a presenter is standing behind a computer-generated object. The presenters, on the other hand, have no idea what else is around, so it's no surprise many of them end up clinging to the walls for their dear life. But of all the technology's uses, probably the most interesting is in creating sets which couldn't be built any other way. I asked them to build a world where everyone had a full head of hair, but instead they came up with a totem pole suspended over an infinite drop.
Oh, Rick, you have to hide me from the fat man. It's a far, far better thing to do than I've ever done before. Lady, would you stop with the pushing boo-hoo-wally?
Hillock. Unfortunately, once you've installed a virtual set, it's only a simple hop, skip, and quite literally jump to include virtual characters in there too. Desmond is just one of the awful creations that TV producers think are really cool, and attempts to get the public to take part in TV shows with them have not surprisingly ended in tragedy.
Listen, Lynn. I think this is your opportunity to escape. So I want you to run. Run and get help. Go ahead. Go. No, don't. Wait.
And you think this show's funny.
You had to do it. Oh, my.
Surprisingly, no UK set designers are out of work yet, but in California, where taste is frequently a stranger, this has taken over American minds to such an extent that people are badly dancing to this because they love it. Right, that's it. Time to dance at the end of show disco. But remember, life is a bit like being in a teen band. It's great for a while, but before you can say bros, it's over. Bye-bye. Okay. They're all advancing on me now. What? Thought they were wanting to fight there.